Don't worry too much about navigating these messy backfields. I have LaQuan Jones over with me, and we're looking at 5 of the messiest backfields and buying or selling each running back on every team. All right, LQ, we're going to hop right into it. I don't consider this as messy as other people do, but the Texans just signed Nick Chubb. So now we have Joe Mixon there. We've been waiting on that clock to run out for years now. Woody Marks, someone who I've been pounding the drum of. He went in the 4th round, but they traded day 2 capital. They did the whole Jalen Wright situation to pick him up. That looks a little bit messy. Moreover, Nick Chubb just looked old. Dare I say it, last year, and he is old. Yeah, I know it's like you're speaking blasphemy. It's like you're staring God in the face and saying, "I see you bleed," But I think that we're here at this point now. Does Nick Chubb make you worry about Joe Mixon, Woody Marks, and neither?
Yes, in terms of like the reason why we love Joe Mixon, like it's not because of the yards per carry. He's not an efficient runner. Who cares, But he goes out there and he contributes to the passing game as well. And we love Joe Mixon because his touches. So if you're telling me that his touches are about to come down, and you're telling me that, Nick Chubb might be coming in and scoring opportunities because he's basically old, as you preference it, and he'll just be vulturing all these touchdowns. But overall, how I look at this entire backfield, it's one of those things where Joe Mixon, to me, he's not the guy that, I want to invest in that 5th and 6th round when we're looking at these RB2s and have that RB1 upside. But it's like a messy backfield that is like, I don't need any parts of now, like I kind of can just close that book and say, hey, I'm good. I don't want anything coming out of Houston right now because we still have questions of that O-line. We still have questions of CJ Stroud. Like, are we going to get a bounce back season, So Moody Marks and Cody Kessler, man, he came on Good Morning Football a while back, putting him in my ear before draft starting, talking about, yeah, man, get your eyes on Woody Marks. He's a guy that can produce out of this backfield. And I'm like, man, Joe Mixon got that from the ground and air, man. I'm not worried about Woody Marks, but overall, how this backfield works out, I hope Woody makes, some type of opportunities to get out there and be somewhat fantasy relevant.
Yeah, and you nailed it because that's where I'm at. I never wanted Joe Mixon. So I'm like, oh, cool. I'm just justified in not wanting Joe Mixon. And then Nick Chubb hasn't been real to me as a dynasty bro. And even in best ball, I guess in best ball it's worth it, but if I'm going to do a redraft team or I'm drafting in dynasty, there's no way I'm going to roster Nick Chubb. Woody Marks, like you said, it's multiple things. One, they spent money on him. They even brought him in for a top 50 visit, but his skill set differs from the other two, where I think that Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon will probably cannibalize each other. Yeah. And let's say if Joe Mixon goes down, Nick Chubb can get that early down work. Woody Marks is still a quality pass catcher and a change of pace back that can work within himself. Now, all the stuff you said about the offensive line, all those worries are there. That's why I would rather have the pass catcher and not the grinder who's going to get hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And then 2, Woody Marks is so cheap that if I blow that bet at cost, I'm like, cool, I just drafted, dark-skinned Dylan Laube or something, he's just going to die at the end of my pitch,
Pick that up right there. Jesus.
Like it's just at cost, it's fine, and I'm willing to make that bet. But like I said, guys, Joe Mixon, he's been done. I don't know. And he does this every year. I think the first 4 weeks, Joe Mixon will tear it up. He's like, I'm fresh. And then Father Time comes knocking week 5. And then he's back to 6 and 7 point weeks. But we won't spend much time on that. That was really just, that's what we call in the YouTube game, guys. We are capitalizing on hype. Now that the news portion is done, I got our resident Rams fan in. And now there's different musings. Kyren Williams seems to be a buy again. Then Jarquez Hunter's coming in. There's a lot of hype on here. Blake Corum is still a thing. And then when you play the which one does something different game, he sticks out.
Yeah.
You watch this team more than most. What's going on here?
Listen, this backfield is a mess, and I'm glad you got it right here at the top of the rundown, my guy. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes when it comes to this, because Kyren is an interesting situation now. He needs to get paid by the Rams for us to get any type of security that this is his workhorse backfield. With this contract not really being agreed upon, he just bought a house in Florida. So I'm like, hey, this is a contract year. He got a house in Florida. It sounds like he's on the move. Like he's already not feeling secure in LA, which rightfully so. When you look at Jarquez Hunter, there's two things he brings. It's explosiveness and ball security. This is the things that Kyren lacks, and that's the problem. Like, we don't have that security in Kyren to tote the rock in crucial moments. As a Rams fan, I wanted to rip my TV off the freaking wall when he dropped that in the freaking snow against the Eagles. But here's the thing. When you look at Blake Corum, he's the odd man out. He's more so the replacement if Kyren's to get banged up, which he has somewhat of an injury history. So it's like, all right, well, Blake Corum, cool. You're there. Like you have to play the waiting game. But overall, looking at this backfield, like we don't know anything until probably August, September, just get a posture of knowing who's going to be RB1. But it could be anybody's job at this point right now.
Yeah. And the big one here, I was pretty lukewarm on Jarquez Hunter till it was too late, to be honest, because when you think about the cost that you're paying for Jarquez Hunter and Blake Corum for that matter, you should be clicking the button. We know what Sean McVay can do. Sean McVay can cook with 3 ingredients and 2 of them are water. Let's put it that way. You know, he can make it happen here. And so like even with Jarquez's skill set aside, I think that you should have taken any running back that he's been interested in. Now, let's just break this down. Kyren Williams, like you said, not explosive. The Rams had one of the worst explosive rates for running backs, which is insane considering that offense that he's in. Never that fast, always undersized, pretty much reliable, at least a smart runner, and has good hands. And just pure volume he fed on. Jarquez Hunter, one of the best outside zone rate runners in college, is an explosive back that they need. Now, Blake Corum, I wouldn't say explosive, but he's at least a good downhill runner and a good thumper. Where I worry is I don't think McVay's ever been one to have a 1-2 thump, like a 1-2 punch at running back because he doesn't like to show his hand. So this is another, to me, what you've just told me. I don't want Kyren Williams. I am just going to 50-50 juggle Jarquez Hunter and Blake Corum.
You know? That's honestly what you have to do, bro, because it's like you want a piece of this backfield. This is one of the messiest backfields, but you still want it. Like it's the plate over there. Like, damn, man, I know this is not good for my body right now, but I still want it. Like this is the cheat. Like I gotta have some fun. Like I need to get a piece of this backfield because you know the ceiling that it can be, and that's RB1 production. So this backfield can literally go to anybody.
Yeah. And and just to give some actionable advice, like what am I doing, what I'm doing in Bestball right now, I'm taking them both of them. Like I'm taking Hunter and Corum if I can. I'll even reach a little bit to make sure I secure whatever's going to happen in that backfield, because it's like you said, man, like we know it's going to taste good. It just might not be fun. And
on the way out.
On the way out, it ain't gonna be that great sometimes, So like, I'm taking both of them in Dynasty. Same thing. I at least want one or the other, if not both. Like I was at the turn in a startup, so I'm like, cool. I don't want any of these backups, but I know at least one of these guys may be the guy, and if not next year. So Dynasty, I'm getting both of them as well. Kyren, I hate to say it, guys. I think Kyren is one of the biggest sells right now. It's just. It's like you said, man. He's already counting that tax-free Florida money. I don't.
Hey, it might be a place from in Tampa or even Jacksonville next year. Who knows? I mean, Rashad Wright, Travis Etienne, they ain't safe and they secure spot, and he could be the plug and play right for that role for a Bucky Irvin or Bhayshul Tuten. Who knows?
And that's actually the perfect segue of here. Before we go and talk about the Jaguars, we'll stop and pay some bills. Like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Like I said, guys, I talk about it all. Best ball, redraft, dynasty. Really, I'm just talking ball, and I'm bringing my friends with me. And if you want more personalized advice, you can hop over in our Discord. I got the link down in the bio. We keep you update on all of our latest tournaments at Fast Draft, which is another perfect segue way to downloading the Fast Draft app, where we have our Origins tournament, which is rookies only, our Flex 4. And guys, you asked for it, we have a full best ball tournament. We used draft a full lineup that is coming this month. So you'll want to download Fast Draft now. You want to earn as much as that free cash as you can, because we're doing a deposit match of up to $50. If you get in the Discord, we're giving away money all the time. All right, Jaguars. This has been lots of propaganda here. All these backfields, what's funny, you could tell that it's almost like you're watching political ads on Twitter. Everyone's like, here's why you should draft Travis Etienne and why Bhayshul Tuten sucks. It's just all over the place. And I feel like the Jaguars perennially at this point have been this backfield. When Bigsby got drafted, now with Tuten got drafted. This is different for me. I am taking shots at all of these guys.
Yeah.
Because I think that Etienne can go to a different place and thrive. I think Tuten can thrive where he's at. I think Tank Bigsby can thrive even with Tuten or Etienne or somewhere else. Where are you at?
Like where I'm at with this situation, I'm taking the cheapest option. That's Tank right now. I mean, look, it's going to be Etienne and Tuten all summer long. I mean, the fantasy streets are going to be having their number when the first training camp report comes out, like, oh, Travis Etienne fumbled, or, Bhayshul Tuten caught a touchdown, like all this other stuff. Their ADPs are going to get a little too expensive. But when it comes down to it, Liam Cohen has no loyalty to anybody in this backfield. So he's
no reason to
figure out, and he's going to put the best players in the best position. He was a magical worker, getting cam makers and being able to finish that back half of the season as strong as he did when he came back, being able to get Bucky Irvin to be the partner in crime with Rachaad White is one of those things where it's like, okay, well, Rachaad White can't be a guy that can run on the ground as a pure runner. He could be a good pass catcher, and they play 1-2 to each other. But the problem is with Bucky Irvin, he could do both. I mean, look, they ended up with the same receiving yards. I think they were 1 yard difference in their receiving yards last season, which is crazy. It's just like, just give that all to Bucky. But anyway, moving on to Tank, like I feel like he's the cheapest. He's the guy that's getting left out. And like, why not take that shot? He could end up as A2 in the situation, and you could be able to thrive in that.
Yeah. And we've seen Liam Cohen use multiple backs. Like you said, I think the Buccaneers were different than the Jaguars are. Bucky Irving was a man amongst boys in that backfield type thing. I won't disrespect Rachaad White, but that dude just is a terrible runner. He's just not a good runner. It's crazy that you're that big and you play like you're like JD McKissick. Like that's his game, his catching passes.
Like I did not foresee that being a thing. Like it was I would say when Fournette was there, it was like one of those things you're like, all right, well, he can pass catch too. He could develop as a runner, and it just never actually caught up. It just kind of stuck with him being a pass catcher. But hey, it is what it is. Get your money, brother.
Yeah, and it's like I'm taking shots on Tuten, even though he's the priciest right now. And I say priciest, it's just relative to who he is, meaning he's a rookie. And he's a rookie in a messy situation. So we're kind of paying premium prices when you think about that. Like I remember Trey Benson was a rake a lot of people stepped on last year, me included, because we were preying on James Conner's downfall. I think you were like one of the few who were just like, James Conner, he's still good.
I don't understand how he does it, but that brother is out there just balling, bro. And he's still a great pass catcher as well. He's a dual threat. He ain't giving up that driver's seat.
Yeah, and that's like Travis Etienne had a bad year. I don't think he's a bad player. But everyone forgets that the Jaguars overall were a bad team. Doug Peterson wasn't a great coach. Doug Peterson was the only coach to win a Super Bowl, and then the team still get better when they let him go. They're like, thank you for drafting this wonderful team, but we're going to look elsewhere at this time. Good luck in all your endeavors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear there's no taxes in Jacksonville. Good luck.
For real.
Yeah. So and especially in Dynasty, why I'll take the bet on Etienne is like, again, I think that other teams need running backs and he can go, like, let's say Etienne at the Bengals right now. Etienne is better than Chase Brown. Sorry to tell you guys that I'm sorry that you need to hear it right here. I know some of you are going to get mad. Travis Etienne is a better football player than Chase Brown. If he is available, the Bengals should call. So I'll just say it. And then Bhayshul Tuten, if you liked Bucky Irving, Tuten is just more athletic, where I will say he just doesn't have the production. And like you said with Tank Bigsby, I think he's a good 1B. He is like them David Montgomery type. dudes, down here, tough runner. We'll move on to another one. This is wild, man. I'm surprised it's taking me this long to talk about it. It's the Bills, guys. James Cook and Ray Davis. This is messy, not because of it's crowded. It's messy because of the usual contract dispute. Yeah. Who does James Cook think he is? Is he going in like a Nepo baby? He's like Draco Malfoy, but he's like my brother Dalvin. It's like, who does he think he is,
bro? Nah, I get the beef, man. I get the beef with James Cook in this contract situation, though, because when you look at that backfield, yes, we love Ray Davis, how explosive he can be. His head is on a swivel when he's in the passing game. And then you have Ty Johnson there, who's probably one of the best third down backs out there. That's why he's employed. And he's always going to be a thorn in the side of this backfield. And with James Cook, his argument isn't loud enough. I mean, last season, Joe Brady handed him the keys. He handed him to be able to show he could be an RB1, but is he a guy as important as he think he is to that team? Like them without James Cook, I believe the Bills are still the Bills. You know what I mean? So I can understand that type of frustration with the contract situation, because then you think, all right, what do you want to be paid? Like he ain't getting 15. I mean, you got JT, Jonathan Taylor at 14. I mean, he could sit in between that and work that out, but I think more so, like, I don't look at him as a like workhorse guy. I don't look at him as a guy that can lead them to the promised land. They have the tools in house with other running back talents. They just have to split up those carries.
Yeah. I mean, you nailed it, dude. Where basically last year it took pure volume to get him there. They wanted James Cook to be the guy a lot earlier than last year, but he quite literally fumbled that bag away. He's not a particularly great runner, and by great runner, he's not tough. He doesn't have great vision, but when you cook up a really good, at least a really good gap for him to get through, he is explosive, and that's how that works. Like he's one of those people that I think I say just kind of like shoot out behind the line sometimes, where they'll like run right in the back of their guard, and then they'll just like they kind of run like a blind man with a cane. They feel it around, and then boop, there's a hole, and then there's 15 yards. But a lot of times they get those negative plays, and I don't like that. Then we go to the other side. Ray Davis has just done what he's asked. Homie has just been like the stereotypical coach's player, bring your lunch pail to work type guy since college, and he's just sitting there. He's like, I'm just happy to be here. I mean, like legitimately, that's where he's at. So you got to think that they don't even care. It was like, we got Josh Allen. I just need you to get 15 carries and don't mess it up.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah. I mean, he better report though, man, because like they gonna get paid. He gonna get paid, and the Bills are still gonna be a dominant force in the NFL. Let's just end this story a little bit sooner than later.
It's like, try to get a ring out of it, dude. Like, and this is where I'm at. Like, obviously, I'm never going to be in an NFL locker room making a decision like James Cook is. One, I'm too damn old and not fast enough at this point, but James Cook, go get a ring and then go get that I just won a Super Bowl money. Because how many times have we seen someone come off a Super Bowl and then they overpay the running back on the team? Go do that, dog. You get a chance to do what like Carmelo was doing with the last 5 years early, before your knee retire. Go take a discount now and get a ring, and then go get your money and you go buy a Florida house next to Kyren.
Yo. There you go. Y'all could be neighbors, man, because that's who they waiting to see who get paid. I honestly think that's the race to see what Kyren gets paid, and then it will make a reasonable adjustment for James Cook. Because, like, I think Kyren is worth 12. A lot of people, the fumbles, that's an issue, but split the backfield. But James Cook, his importance to the team isn't as valuable as Kyren's to the Rams. So
can't even pass block like Kyren can. Like people pay up for pass blocking, man.
And I think that's what's going to keep Kyren employed, because coming out of school, that was his number one bread and butter, is the pass blocking. He's one of the best out there in the game, and like James Cook, like you said, he's explosive. He's available in the passing game, but you have a guy sitting there named Ray Davis that can do both.
Yep. And we'll move on to another one who I was talking about today, and I told you guys I was going to bring it up, but it's the Bears backfield. Dave Kluge just said on Twitter they might have one of the worst backfields in football right now, and I think on paper you could say that. I don't think it's that bad. I've also not thinking too hard, right? Like on the top of my head, I can't think of. I actually think at this point, I would consider the Texans have a worse backfield, but
Yeah,
I just think Joe Mixon's not like you said. What's Joe Mixon good at? Stumbling for 20 carries a game. That's what
there
he's
you
really
go.
good at. But the Bears have DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai, and Roschon Johnson. I did not expect my DeAndre Swift's bags to get lighter after the draft, but they did. I'm holding still. I don't know why, but it just
You know why?
yeah. I don't know. I don't
You're a
know why.
sick man.
Yeah, I know. Kyle Monangai is one of my most rostered rookies in general because he's free money. I don't care about Roschon Johnson. I'll break that down in a minute. Where are you at on this backfield?
I'm in on a Monangai because I honestly think that he's the guy that you can get literally for pennies right now. Like it's literally a name that's not out in the fantasy streets that's getting echo chambered at the moment right now. It's just a guy that's on a roster trying to make a roster for, main media guys talking about him. But I see the talent. I see the opportunity for him. And you have Ben Johnson on the sticks that's going to try to get the best out of each of these running backs. And I think he stands out because it's a little swift his game because he's tough. He's explosive. He can be a guy that can contribute in the passing game some, but a 1-2 punch, I kind of see it like him running as like a 1B situation under Ben Johnson's eye. Now, Roschon Johnson, I think we've seen everything we possibly could. I haven't been a fan of him being a compliment to DeAndre Swift and trying to deal with Khalil Herbert in that backfield. Like that was real nasty work to even see try to work that out. So I'm in on Swift this year though, man. Like I'm really high on Swift. I think right now in best ball leagues, he's probably one of my top 3 or 2, running backs that I have rostered right now, just based on you look at the blueprint of what Ben Johnson had. I mean, the birth of the Sonic and Knuckles was with DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. So we see that he had 70 targets on the table for, and I'm like, whoa, hold up. Yeah, you're damn right. I mean, you had Jamal Williams lead the league in rushing yards, and then you had this DeAndre Swift with 70 targets out of the backfield. You had 2 top 15 running backs right there. Like, I'm in on that. So if I can be in on this backfield for pennies for Monangai and then still get Swift at a discount because some people think he's washed, he's old. Like, no, turn on that tape, bro. Most of his explosive plays were him out of the backfield playing the pass catcher, and that's all he was designed to do. He did not have a chance, scheme-wise that they were drawing up with that terrible offensive calling. Like the O-line was a terrible shot too. So I'm just all in on Kyle Monangai and Swift, man, going into this season.
Same page. You're speaking the gospel, man. And I actually didn't even think that far back as you did. Because like Jamal Williams, comparatively speaking, I don't think the fall off between where he was at and what Kyle Monangai can do is as significant as some people think. A lot of people just don't even know who Kyle Monangai is, guys.
Yeah.
He was first team all Big 10, only behind Caleb Johnson, ahead of Quinshon Judkins and Trevion Henderson. He is a powerful, tough runner who is incredibly productive over at Rutgers. And like you said, he is the perfect person for the Knuckles role. And with the DeAndre Swift thing, a lot of people just think that, well, I spent a top 5 pick on DeAndre Swift in a startup 6 years ago, and that didn't pan out, so he's garbage. It's like, guys, that's your dynasty brand getting in the way of being objective. He wasn't as good as you thought he is, but he's still good at what he does. And like
That's
you said,
coming from the great. Like he just spawned. Like what are we talking about in that type of light? Like he's garbage now. What? I would be happy as hell right now if I drafted him top 5, 6 years ago, and then now he has potential to be a top 15, top 10 running back. And on top of the roster that I built in the 6 years, hopefully, that managed to get good.
I've heard you talk about this, man. Like I come from the dynasty streets. Y'all are my people, but y'all are just wild, man. It's like it's the same thing with the Marvin Harrison Jr. folks out there. Like, well, he wasn't a Hall of Famer year one, so he's garbage. That's just like not.
Look at that quarterback. He's garbage. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the real elephant.
Yeah. And then to those out there holding a candle to Roschon Johnson.
Yeah.
I get it. He's a hard worker. He's a guy that you at least want in the locker room. But keep in mind, folks, he was a converted quarterback who played running back for Texas behind Bijan Robinson. Then he goes to the NFL where he is a day 3 pick. Granted, I think it was like 4th or 5th round. Still day 3 pick. He's had every opportunity to earn a role in this backfield and hasn't done it.
Nope.
So when you've only had like 5 snaps, yes, I'm using hyperbole. When you only had 5 snaps in college and you come to the NFL and earn 5 snaps, as a running back, he's essentially Anthony Richardson. He has very little experience. The best thing that he was in college that everyone wanted him for pass blocking. Those aren't exactly things that are going to win you a lot of money. I just don't think Roschon Johnson is going to win you Best Ball Mania here. No. So if you're fading Kyle Monangai because of Roschon Johnson, this is year 4 for Roschon. Is it year 3, 4 for him? I don't get it.
It's up there. We've seen enough. Let's just put it in that frame. We've seen enough. We've seen it to where it just doesn't blossom into that beautiful flower. It's just one of those things. Like, I feel like him just being behind Bijan coming out of college, I think we always do these things as dynasty managers, like, oh, he was in that backfield, so he learned and was able to see firsthand, and he has that type of aura coming into the year. No, he went to the Bears. No, like, he couldn't earn a job there when it was all up in the air. Like, all opportunities have been there for him is the point. It's just like, you got to move on.
Yeah, my mentions right now, I had a tweet about a common on guy. I had someone mention Travis Homer. Travis Homer, guys. I'm like, what?
What?
What? I don't get it, guys. I think we're, especially
like
when you think
running back for the Seahawks right now. Like, what are we talking about?
Travis Homer had that one game. He had one game for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
like where he like. I think he made all of his nut on like 3 plays, essentially, like, because he's a special teamer. And well, Travis Homer's still there. How are we? I feel, especially at Best Ball, we're so quick to fade someone for the most ridiculous players. But it's just like, I don't understand it, man. Like, you've been in this game longer than I have, and it just seemed like the longer I'm in it, it's just like we just get really wild, man, and we try to galaxy brain this.
Yes.
So much. Get too cute,
wild, bro.
Yep. Well, those are our 5 backfields. It's nice, short, and sweet today. I'm going to keep these pods a little bit shorter, not have the hour-long, well, dare I say it, bangers, but still long for some of you. LaQuan, you're over at FTN now, and of course, you're over at NFL.com. I got royalty down here now at Fast Draft. So
word. Yeah, man. I'm over there at NFL Network. I'm basically doing the editorial researcher for the flagship shows. Good Morning Football. Right now we're rocking and rolling, man. And then I got FTN stuff coming every single week, man. I'm managing their video content department over there, and we're getting, revved up for the season, man. It's honestly going to be a great summer, when we get these videos out and starting a podcast with Matt Okada, man. It's going to be something beautiful that's going to blossom to something funny and just fun and just laid back and just talk fantasy. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
Hell yeah, dude. And as always, guys, I'm going to have consistent content out here. I have 3 videos a week, plenty of shorts content coming up every day. Like I said, look out. We have our full Best Ball tournament coming up. So if you want the nuggets, you want all the ADP, all the stuff, I'm your guy for that. We're still going to talk Dynasty Redraft. As I always say, we're just talking ball here. As always, I'm Jagger May. Love you, and I'll see you on the next one. So I thought I needed